I am very fortunate to be a guest of WCSB, the Vindicator Hour, at the gracious behest of its hosts, and I'm reading my book, Short Skirts and Shorter Stories. I'm Rene Debenedictis. Fortitude forges comedy. People from Cleveland are survivalists. They are taught from birth to cut down their own tree, to build their own shelter and boat, and finally their own coffin. With winters colder than the Arctic and slogging knee-deep in snow, they quickly learn that laughter can heat up a body and chase away the blues. Refuge is available in public libraries and bars. All these elements serve to foster great writers and storytellers. Over the moon. I chased the moon tonight. It was rotund, plump, and bright. I tried to get a photo, but clouds and tree tops. I'm going to start again. I'm going to drop those shoes. Over the moon. I chased the moon tonight. It was rotund, plump, and bright. I tried to get a photo, but clouds and tree tops crowded my view. My chase was accompanied by a symphonic vocalization of wind, croaking bullfrogs, distant train whistles, and the rustle of tall grass and trees. The woo was worth the pursuit. I chased the moon tonight and caught its glimpse. Reflection on the massacre at Sandy Hook. Things that brought me comfort this day. My son's laugh. My daughter's anxious glance. Scott Simon's voice of journalistic integrity. A glimpse of our president's frailty. A cup of vanilla almond tea. My 84-year-old neighbor's call. My cat's chronic purr. Music. The sun shining through tree branches holding steady against the winter breeze. The moon. The dogged belief that passion and happiness are as resilient as Mother Nature, and that tomorrow will bring rays of kindness and hope, and that somehow laughter and heroicism will again become the norm. Repose after yet another fall. Concussions wreak havoc physically and emotionally. Days after a fall, the head stops aching, but the mind spins. I stand dizzy, disoriented, and unsteady. The trees are green and full. The air is tinged with the sweet smell of wild hyacinth and lily of the valley. I sit quietly beside Eli, my buddy cat, happy as hummingbirds flutter just inches above our heads. The spin cycle stops. Contentedness sneaks back in, and a lull prevails. Writing and ranting in response to police brutality. Fearfulness and trepidation in daily life should be commonplace in the face of war, not in the daily existence of American life. I am not sure we live in a democracy anymore. I do not want to live in a police state. I try to see the perspective of police officers. I grew up believing they were to protect and serve the people. I am a 5-foot-tall white woman who has never done anything slightly illegal. I have been stopped by the police multiple times with multiple cars for doing nothing. We have no civil liberties with the Patriot Act. I understand police are frightened. There are too many guns everywhere. Compassion and empathy are as important as currency. Our country was founded on the principles of freedom of speech and expression. Apprehension, anguish, and fear accompany not just our nation's young men, but our republic as a whole. Adversity torments our daily existence. I implore our police to try to find a dialogue and to use diplomacy as a first response to dissension. I'm Lisa Debenedictis, and I'm reading from my first book of short stories. I'm going to read one called Iced Coffee. The book is called Short Skirts and Shorter Stories. Ode to Iced Coffee. Van Morrison loved his Tupelo honey, Neil Diamond his red, red wine. Billy Joel wallowed in his bottles of white, red, perhaps a bottle of rosé instead. Rupert Home loved pina coladas in the rain, but I sip iced coffee in vain. Sitting on a port swing in the heat of the afternoon, I am a connoisseur of all things fine. But iced coffee is to me the most sublime. I pour a fine Costa Rican blend with hazelnut aroma into a tall crystal glass filled to the brim with cubes of ice. Daydreaming as the cream drips into the glass, it froths and floats till I mix it the color of a former lover's hue. Coffee with ice on a hot, humid day, dreaming of salty oceans and beaches of summers long past. The first sip tastes as pleasant as the last. Iced coffee with cream and no sugar for me. The bitterness contrasts the cream on my lips. The caffeine awakens my daydreamy state. Red wine stains teeth and tablecloths, and the great ones aren't too sweet. I will write with devotion of my caffeinated treat. My name is Rene Debenedictis. I've been reading from Short Skirts and Shorter Stories, and I've been the guest today of Cleveland State University, the Vindicator Hour.